having me back. I'm a great friend of RAR, and it's really nice to be here. Right, so I'm going to start with the kids' poem because I've been doing loads of work in schools and I'm in that kind of mood. So it should be relatable, hopefully. So at the risk of totally alienating myself from my lovely host this evening, does anyone here have a name that people get wrong?
Yeah.
Yes, awesome. Your name is Kai. How do people get Kai wrong?
They spell it Kai like Kia.
Right, so they're just mixing it up
Yeah.
and everything. Oh, who else had their hand up? What's your name?
Amelia.
How do people get Amelia wrong?
Spell it with an E, not an A.
Rude! They're just changing the vowels! Changing the vowels, I'm so sorry. Ocean.
Yeah, it's spelled Osheen, so it's O-S-S-I-A-N.
Right, so it's like, making it up. Eliza, say it, like, what do they...
I asked for a coffee at Starbucks. They gave me a cup that said ocean on it.
You just stole that coffee!
Okay, I'm feeling like there's lots of solidarity in the room. Cool. So this is a poem about my name. No offense. And it's called What's in a Name? But before you jump to conclusions, let me assure you this one's not for you. This one's for the friends of friends, the strangers and the nice to see you again. This one's for the letter senders, the introducers and the have you metters. This is for the tweeters, the greeters and the nice to meeters, the ones who weren't listening and the can you repeaters. This one's not for you. You know better than this, or at least I hope you do, and if you don't, then by the end of this one you should. So no offence meant, okay? Got it? Good. Right. My name is Sara. It never has been and never will be Sarah. Not that I have anything against the name Sarah. I know 2 or 3 Sarahs that I care about deeply, but adding an H to my name is not really the same name at all, but a new one completely. As far as I'm aware, Sarah is spelled with an H, whereas I spell my name simply S-A-R-A. It's pronounced how it's spelled, so please say it that way. Unless you're American, in which case it's fine. They say the name Sara, but spell it like mine. But otherwise, if I've told you it's Sara, please don't call me Sarah, or even worse, Zara. An S is an S and a Z is a Z. They're different on paper in the way that they're said. They're 2 different letters, and though neither is better, you can't just discard one and use the other instead. I mean, you wouldn't call a Lara, Lara. You wouldn't call a Tara, Tara. And so though Sara and Sarah share a similar sound, Sara is rarer than Sarah, I found. Sara is shorter and sweeter than Sarah, like karma or llama or drama or farmer, whereas Sarah is longer, like bearer or wearer. The vowels elongated from ara to era, and while I like long words, like bear or carrot or wear or share or fair or stare, I think less can be more when it comes to a name. And although I hate to point the blame, I think it's a shame that you think 2 completely different names are the same. Oh, sorry, I seem to have got a bit carried away. I shouldn't let it get to me in this way. It's a common mistake, and anyway, you didn't mean it personally. I take it all back. I mean, a name's just a name, and like Shakespeare said, by any other I should smell the same. But forgive me. Ignore me. I got into a state. Call me whatever. I think both names are great. I really don't mind what you call me, I swear. Honestly, I really don't care. I mean it. I'm sorry. It's one tiny letter. Please, call me Sarah. But Sara is better. This happens all the time. Yeah, that was my kid's poem, but still going, still doing it because it's still relatable. Cool. So I moved to New Zealand. That's the thing that happened recently. So I'm not there right now, but obviously.
Do you mean not in
I'm back for a bit. But yeah, I'm going back in like a week or 2. So I like to write poems about things that I am in no way expert in. So I wrote this just before I moved, and it's called How to Move Country. How to Move Country. Buy 5 vintage suitcases from a friend on Facebook who used them decoratively for her travel-themed wedding. Joke to yourself that her maiden name was Case. Try the joke out on the Uber driver. Exist in that silence until you get your cases home. Ensure 3 of the handles immediately break. Empathise with them. Only bring what you can fit in 3 cases unfit for travel. Ignore the weight limit. Overfill until the leather stretches out of shape. Give away most of your things. Tell your mother. Exist in that silence. Pack your guilt in the smallest box. Pack the key and hope it gets lost. Do not cry. Not yet. Reread the shipping instructions. Remove most of your items and repack them to redistribute the weight, mainly the books. Bring all of your books and none of your bedding. Everywhere sells bedding, but these poets have what you need to sleep soundly when everything is upside down. Start buying stuff you don't need. Bulky jumpers. Books you've already owned and given away. Overfill your pockets with stuff. Anchors to keep you rooted to everything you've ever known. Consider staying. Feel the pull of this place, then redistribute the weight. Visit the grave once before you go. Exist in that silence until it stretches out of shape. Leave a stone at the base. Take another home in your pocket, then redistribute the weight. Say goodbye to your mother. Feel heavy with her helplessness. Wait for her to cry. Wait. Redistribute the weight. Wait. So then I got there, and yes, this happened. So yeah, I got there, it was great, and I managed to get a visa, which was incredibly stressful, but also incredibly easy when compared to lots of people in the world. But yes, it was a whole process, and it was incredibly frustrating, because you have to prove lots of things about yourself that really you shouldn't have to prove, and it's quite rigorous. Anyway, it was, the process was frustrating enough to warrant this poem, I believe. So this is a found poem. I found it, and I'm now going to perform it to you. So basically, for anyone who doesn't know, a found poem is when you don't write any of the words, you find them from a particular source, and you curate them, edit them together. So this is a found poem from my email telling me I got my visa from Immigration New Zealand. And it's called Welcome. Welcome. Congratulations on your official approval. We officially approve of you. We, New Zealand, officially invite you, Sara.Hirsch@hotmail.co.uk, to move to New Zealand and improve yourself. You have recently arrived here. If you haven't recently arrived here, you will soon, and we have some helpful tips. Find information you can trust. One website you can really trust is newzealandnow.gov.nz. You can ask questions and get answers, and it is one website you can really trust. It is an official government page, and the government is a government that you can really trust. Please note, New Zealanders have an unusual accent and use lots of slang words. For example, GP or Facebook. We are also very relaxed with each other. For example, we expect people to use first names to ask questions and to contribute. We expect you to contribute. If you don't contribute now, you will soon. Trust us. Please note, we are very relaxed, and in New Zealand you can trust. You may need help with understanding how we communicate. You are receiving this email because you recently tried to communicate with a New Zealander. Please note, New Zealanders are people you can really trust. If you need to know more, you can try to communicate with a New Zealander who may understand your accent. You can ask questions, and you may have a chance to improve yourself. We have some helpful tips. Find a New Zealander you can trust. One New Zealander you can really trust is known as a general New Zealander, and is very relaxed, and is 18 years or older, and has an unusual accent. The general New Zealander will answer to their first name and will expect you to contribute. For example, you may have the chance to enrol to vote. You may have the chance to influence New Zealand's future in an election. An election is where we choose the people who will make the decisions about New Zealand. Please note this is a government page and we cannot offer any advice, but we can recommend that you contribute, enroll to vote, and do not be like people like you when they settle here. We are sure that you will adjust. We are sure that you will improve. We are sure that you will relax and make the right decisions. We are sure that we are a page that you can really trust. Thanks so much. Yeah, I don't know, that one goes down better here than it does in New Zealand. No, they love it. They have a great sense of humour. It's all fine. At least that's what they're telling me. Right, I'm going to do something a bit more kind of experimental. So this is like brand new shit, really. Yes. So this is from a project that I'm working on in New Zealand with some dancers, and they basically. So the project's called the Human Project, and they basically said, can you write a thing about and it's about humans? Go. And it's like, oh, specific, helpful. So this is what came out of it. I'm really enjoying working on it. Yes, it's all on one running theme, humans, and the whole thing is 7 parts. But I think I've taken maybe 4 of them that I'm going to share with you. So yes, Human Project, part 1. Hey humans, let me see your vulnerability. Fact. Putting shoes on in public is such an intimate act. Human sits in driver's seat. Door flung in deliberate abandon, displays forbidden flesh of strangers' feet. Personalised number plate to match the surname. Sneakers red to match the paintwork. Perfect. Toenails, perfect. Not a scratch. Sneakers sneaky red to match the heat. Cheeky red to match the feet. Red to spark the thought, to spark the smile, to spark the match. Ankles naked to the wind. Soles bared, squeezed in, laced up. This is activism on a Wednesday morning. This is skinny dip driving. This is it. This is it. Hey human, let me see your integrity. Let me see your energy. Let me see your grit. Let me see how easily your shoes don't fit. Did you know that you're being watched? Of course you do. Stupid question. Right, I'm going to skip part 2. This is part 3. Shut up, you stupid human. You're a good driver for a human. Aren't you afraid that if you wear that, people won't know you're a human? Oh my God, you are such a strong, independent human, but you must get that all the time. Your humanness is a bit distracting. Maybe tone it down a bit. You should know your place, human. Avoid the temptation to act like a human if you want to get ahead. Maybe don't bother with humour. Humans aren't very good at making people laugh. Leave that to the humans. Humans are just naturally funny. Sorry, there's already a human on this panel. Sorry, we've already published 1 human this month. Sorry, we already have a human on our books. Sorry, but the last human we had on just wasn't that popular and we aren't really prepared to take that risk again. Sorry, but this just wasn't really designed with humans in mind. You probably wouldn't like it anyway. Let's leave this one to the humans, eh? Oh, the human section is downstairs. You'll find it much more interesting. Don't worry yourself with all of this. Translation: this is no place for a human. Right, now I've used Roman numerals, so I'm not entirely sure what part is next, but it's IV. 4. Yeah, exactly, yeah. I thought I was being all wanky and clever, and I actually just can't understand it. Right, part 4. There is a voice you only use when you're explaining Facebook to your mother. Right? There is a face that you only pull when you know that I am the only person watching. There is a face that you pull when you think I've turned away. There is a voice you use when you want me to like you. There is a voice you use when you don't care what I think. There is a look you give me when I don't understand. There is a name you call me that you think I like. There is a name you call me that you know I don't. There is a look that you give me when I've said something stupid. There is a face you pull when I've got it wrong. There is a word for that. There is a word for that. There is a word for that. Right, VI? What's that? 6. Part VI.
1 after 5.
The V
The V is 5 and the 1
the 1 is
is
before
5.
it, it's
Yeah.
1
That would
below
make sense.
5.
My dyslexic brain is going to retain that for about 3 seconds. It's going to fly away into the night. Heart VI. The last one as well. Make a museum of me. I look great behind glass. I look so great, don't you think? Must be the arse. I look so great. Everyone will want to look at me. You won't even have to advertise. Just put a picture of me in the entrance and people will flock, you'll see. Make a museum of me. Call it educational. Call it whatever. Call it historically accurate. Call it well used. Name it after me. Make a museum of me. Me, vintage car, British make and model, built to drive, not to display, no previous owners, despite what they say. Make a museum of me. Make entry free but compulsory. Play back the visits on the CCTV, prove they didn't touch, they never touched, just looked at me. Make a museum of me. Line my baby teeth up in a neat little row. Wind me up, see how far I go. Invite the public. Build a stage, call me entertainment. Go on, I dare you, put on a show. Fingertips on glass. The smudge of shame. The smear of irresistibility. Only visible under the light, under the right kind of scrutiny. A collection of fingernails exhibited in the back. Dust circling the stale air above. Once bitten, twice shy. Once bitten, forever scarred. Once bitten, bite back. The echo of this place. The emptiness. The unseen potential. Here is where we house our weakness. Notice how it blends in with the architecture. How it lets the light in. How it holds itself up. I've got maybe like 2 more and a tiny one. Is that fair? Cool.
Oh, I can listen to you all night. You're amazing. Just keep reading.
I'm going to do about 17 more. No. I've got rooms to stay in. Right. This is just, I'm just going to carry on with that theme just for one more and then I'm just going to do, am I doing that right? Yeah, great. I'm just going to carry on that theme just for a moment. So we're going to go back from New Zealand to London for a second, where this poem is set. And a couple of you might have heard this before, I think, maybe. It's called Costumes. I don't think it really needs much of an introduction. Costumes. There's about 10 of us sardined inside a karaoke booth. We haven't paid, so we attempt to guess the passcode as we pass rum and cokes round and sound out the only working microphone. It's probably about 1 AM and Frank and Em swap shirts because alcohol. Matt and I watch from the sidelines. We keep our tops to ourselves and swap stories instead. I tell him about a documentary I watched last night in bed. We drink gin and discuss women left next to rubbish bins and how this disgusted him. He tells me that 3 out of his 4 bosses are women and we are equal, we are equal, we are equal. Meanwhile, the idea is catching on and in a sudden montage, 8 20-somethings strip and laugh and sit and laugh and slip on someone else's costume inside a cramped karaoke booth while Matt and I talk about the pay gap. It's not crude, it's just a bit of nudity. Frank is posing beautifully, and Matt dutifully tells Lou that Alex's floral print really suits you, and everyone rides to tunes from someone's phone upside down in a pint glass, and we are equal, we are equal, we are equal. Everyone looks great in everyone else's stuff, but it's getting kind of late now, and one by one shirts are returned to rightful owners, and we drain out the bar. Booze soaked and cloaked in a good night. The memory of someone else's shirt draping our drunken goodbyes outside the Star, and this is when my car pulls up. I ask Matt how he's getting home, and he says night tube. We hug, he shuts the door, and I ride to Stratford in the back of a silver Passat. Costs around £13. Cheap, I think, as we pass the entrance to 3 Central Line tube stops on the way home. Revellers spilling out like ketchup onto pavements, bleeding the night into gutters. It would have been 5 minutes on a train, my subconscious mutters. I came dressed as myself tonight. I came dressed as myself, and while Frank might try on M, and we can all feel comfortable in someone else's shirt for a bit in a karaoke bubble at 2 AM, Matt gets the night tube in jeans and a t-shirt, and no one says get home safe because statistics don't dictate us to. And while I might earn the same as him, him, and he is what a feminist looks like. I can't swap skins with him. His outfit is not armour enough to protect the one I'm living in, and I know I'm living in. I know my social life costs me £13 more a week than Matt. That's £52 a month, which added up makes an average of £624 a year I spend on this app, which, ironically, if you deduct it from my salary, does nothing to eliminate the pay gap. More than that. When Matt walks to the station, he does not see himself on the roadside like a garbage bag. He does not imagine what it would be like to be a hashtag. He is not concerned that by wearing these shoes he is asking for it. He's probably just thinking about how convenient it is that he can get the train after midnight, and how funny Frank looked in that top tonight, and how glad he is that he came dressed as himself. Meanwhile, £13 narrowly escapes my account, counting herself lucky that she took the safer option, that she got home in one piece. She was a well-spent decision. Sat on the sidelines at the back of a silver Passat, wishing, for once, she came dressed as someone else. This is called old school. The corridors all feel smaller, and you remember there being more grass, but the dining room still smells like gravy, and the teachers still smile as you pass. And you look for your friends in the photos. You remember their surnames by heart, and you notice a smudge on the whiteboard, and you can retrace the original mark. And did you hear that Michaela got married to one of the boys from your class? And the first in your year groups turned 30. Didn't that come around fast? And there's ghosts in the gaps in the floorboards, and your fingertips still smear the glass. And you're stood in the history classroom, but suddenly you are the past. Hopefully relevant to like the freshers in the room as well. Like, I don't know, suddenly it might have only been like a couple of months, but feels like a whole lifetime. I remember that feeling well. Cool, this is my last one. Thanks so much for being so lovely. Your smiles and your rounds of applause, it's like currency for poets. Actually, that's not true. No, currency is like currency for poets. Subtle little, I don't know, little segue there. I've got books for sale, and flights to New Zealand are really expensive, it turns out. I know that there's loads of students in the room, so I totally get if you can't buy books, but if you can, if you've got a tenner, or if you're like a real struggling student and haven't quite got a tenner but have got like some, just shove some money at me, then yeah, they're just heavy and I'd rather not carry them home. So yeah, come and chat to me, whatever, yeah. Lovely. Right, I'm going to just end with an old favourite, and this is called How to Be Better. When I said I liked writing poems about things that I'm not expert in, this is the best example of that. How to be better. You don't listen to podcasts. You should listen to podcasts. You can download them to your smartphone. How much storage do you have on your smartphone? You should have more than that. You should organise your phone better. Don't store music. That's what's taking up the space. You should stream. Streaming takes up no space. Do you read articles? You should. On your smartphone or your tablet. Do you have a tablet? Buy a tablet. One with storage. Download some productivity apps. And some podcasts. Listen to some podcasts on your tablet. Do you write every day? You should. In your notebook or on your laptop, and you could save what you write in folders, and the folders could be labelled and organised, and you could write about what you read in the articles. Then it will be relevant. And you should film it on YouTube or put it on your blog. You do have a blog, don't you? Do you get things done? You should make lists of the things you want to get done on your smartphone or your tablet, then you can cross them off when you do them. You should make time for yourself every day. Are you being mindful? Don't do anything tonight. Have a bath, but you should read the news, but also relax. There's a news app. You can get it on your smartphone, so you could read it in the bath while you do nothing. Or you could have it on iPlayer in the background, or a podcast. You could have a podcast of the news on an app on your smartphone in the bath. Do you run? You could listen to a podcast while you run. You should run. You can get apps for tracking how far you've run on your smartphone. You could write running on your to-do list on your tablet and then cross it off when you get back. Do you cook? Do you make your own smoothies? Do you speak another language? Do you travel? You should travel more. You should go to Thailand or Europe. You can get language apps on your tablet. You could learn a language on your tablet in the bath. What did you actually do today? Have you written a list of things that make you happy today? Have you had your fire today? Have you quit something bad for you today? Have you updated your status yet? Have you called your loved ones? Have you Skyped? Have you retweeted enough? Have you shared a video? A smile? A flat white? Your feelings? Have you done your washing? Have you done your weekly shop? When was the last time you swam? When was the last time you changed the sheets? When was the last time you sat still? When was your last period? There's an app for that. Have you worn that shirt before? You should get a new one from the internet. You should be making your own lunch and bringing it to work in a Tupperware. You should be cooking fish at home and drinking soya milk. Did you vote? Do you have opinions? You should have opinions. You can get them on your smartphone, isn't it? Have you done your tax return? Have you responded to your emails, to your friend requests, to your WhatsApp group for your part-time job, to your mental health stable? Are you on the living wage? You should be on the living wage. Are you meeting people? Are you keeping up? Are you okay? Are you backing up your documents? Are you in love? Are you listening to enough jazz music? Are you cycling safely? Are you discovering coffee shops? Are you making positive changes? Are you feeling better? Are you sure? Are you?